Hello guys, we're back. Sorry for that little kind of cut there. I'm sure that's the second part of the Le Mans Dynasty, part 3 now. Still watching GT Italia, and we've been asked if we can show the insides of the cars. Sure can do. We'll go on board here with this Ferrari here. Let me just bring up my camera list. Here it is. Maybe? Okay, maybe not. Let's try that again, shall we? There you go, on board with the Ferrari in the cockpit now. This is very much the cockpit. It's very close field of view, so you can't quite see all of the onboard, but that's what it kind of looks like from the perspective. This is what you're probably seeing if you were driving. There goes Borba on the right hand side.
We've just had Kevin Wood pit and leave again. Like it was actually on schedule that time.
That's right then, so maybe that's it. Working out a bit better for them. I swear I can hear the prototype behind us, even though it's in front of us. That's the Ferrari. Perez is in the Lamborghini. He's a bit further down the track. I think that's Kevin Wood in front of us, actually. Oh, getting over that curve a little bit too much there, Per. Watch out. I think this is the GTR on board here. Looks like it's been borrowed slightly from the rFactor 2.
Very definitely a GT1 cockpit in that car.
Timo's not happy that we had to restart the stream. Sorry, Timo. I didn't want it to be nice and neat, but the stream was starting to lag a little bit and I didn't want to have that going. So that's a GTR. And here's the Corvette. And look at that difference in quality. That's what you get for payware, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is the only cars we have on the track. Well, there is an Aston, isn't there, of Kevin Wood. That does look a lot like the rFactor 1 version, doesn't it?
Yeah, most of these models are from just the Blancpain mod for RF1. The GTR is the only one that is a bit different from the rest of them.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm being amused by the chat.
Now, we get to see all sorts of different camera views, but these guys driving here, they're just kind of stuck with that one view.
Well, it depends. I mean,
pretty monotonous.
We've seen some people driving the Swingman view been pretty effective, I think, haven't we?
Well,
yes, we have.
I would condone such things because it can lead to angry outbursts. But
it can lead to Forza. That'd be bad.
No, anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Suffering leads to Forza.
What do you think about that rear view camera thing? That's kind of distracting on some of those cars, huh? Is there any way to turn that off if no one's behind you?
I'm not. You can turn mirrors off, which is somehow you do it. But I think
do the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you,
Oh, okay.
I actually quite enjoy it having that there. I don't think it's too distracting. Like, I think having, because obviously at the top of the car, obviously you've got the kind of the dark of the roof coming down, and that's disturbed by mirrors. I find that more distracting and more kind of lurching than having the monitor. But yeah, that's just personal preference, I guess.
Hi.
Yep. And don't forget, guys, we are taking your questions at GripTV Live. We got one coming in from Vindus. It's he's got a suggestion here. Could we have a full onboard lap with the prototype, the fastest car out there?
I can, and we will. I'm not sure where he is right now. Just coming past the Corvette with its new face. And here we are on board with the Aston Martin, or the AMR I should say. Coming down now to the Michelin chicane, very bumpy ride down the straight. 210 plus miles an hour down there. It's like he's taking it a lot easier than he was before. You see the short shift there into 5th, and probably into 6th as well. you go now through Mulsanne. You see how different these cars handle from GT cars. It's more a kind of letting the car glide through corners, letting the downforce do the work, and keeping those tyres nice and clean.
Is that shaky cam? Is that what the driver experiences?
They can do, yeah. We do have a different camera that we can show though. It's a TV cockpit, which is a little bit more stable. There it is.
Because man, I'd say it's a pretty rough ride here. Is the track more of a bumpy track, or is it smooth, or is it just the way it rides there?
It's more the kind of settings on the camera. You can change those in game, but it is bumpy on board these cars. They're very close to the ground, not a downforce, and this track isn't perfect. This is a road after all. Some of it is purpose-built racetrack, a lot of it isn't though. I mean, you saw Jay Eklund try and escape down one of the access roads, which is, you know, try and basically drive through a different different village. You know. So much faster through those S's, and he's actually 5 seconds down this best lap so far, so really starting to slow down a bit, or you know, maybe taking that broken front wings is starting to slow the car down a bit, you know.
Yeah.
Now the Dunlop curve. Get all the way to the right, all the way to the left. Try and straight line as much as you can. This car seems to be experiencing a bit of understeer. A lot of the cars seem to be doing that. I mean, I think the cars are set up for that. Kind of safety over speed, I think, is the name of the game. And that is, I can't be getting it very quickly. I think it's on the Sim Racing PL Gallardo. This is the speed difference between the two. There's a Gallardo. Now you see him. No, you don't. Off he goes.
Yeah, and even though he's just running out there by himself, Mr. Borba, you know, I would say that his concentration level definitely has to be one of the highest, because he's coming up on these cars so quick. You know, he's really got to keep his attention at 100% here. Just goes to show the endurance in some of these guys. It's amazing.
And talking of concentration, we've just seen the TT Motorsport car put it off the wall. Indianapolis spun into the front wall, then reversed into the rear wall, so making sure the car is damaged equally before getting going again. But it looks like to be back out again. That car looks so out of place. It's so big in this one.
The wing itself is literally higher than the roof of the car.
Oh, you know, they say that wing adds at least 50 brake horsepower, so why not?
So it looks like the P1 car of Borba, their Target Racing AMR team, they've gone about 32 laps. Some of the top GT cars about 28 laps here, and we're into the race a little bit here. What are we in 2-3 hours?
Just sorry,
man, these guys can be racking up the miles.
Just been a change for the lead in the GT class. Pizarro is now back through past Sardina. It wasn't much of a move. This is slipstream on the straight. Move done now, and order is restored.
Yep, and we got some driver swaps. We got Mike Erickson now out there in Can-Am Enduro R8.
Can-Am car's been kind of a little bit quiet over the last couple of laps I've seen. I felt like anyway. Currently down in 14th place overall, which is, I believe, let's have a look, yeah, 12th place in the GT class. So, you know, not doing too great in that extent, but they've been going well. I've not seen many mistakes from them. They've kind of avoided a lot of the contact, especially with the Target Racing R8. Did very well to avoid a lot of that. I think also we actually there's someone else in the car for that. Is it Henrique Moreira now in the car? Yes, indeed. I called that one. So that's the driver swap there as well. So both cars have done the driver swap, and Can-Am car comes out ahead, quite a bit ahead actually, and now it's being lapped by the first two cars.
Yep, Target Racing currently 10th place in the standings, the GT class.
Not a bad shout at all by those guys. So just a reminder, obviously this track is a... we are running with real weather from the real location in the world using a very special plugin. And you can see here the weather forecast. Noon we've had a pretty good... It's been cloudy, but it's been there's been sun, and we're going to get that into the evening. At night temperatures kind of come down, and in the morning the skies are predicted to open. Lots of rain coming there, so that's really going to change up the race, I think. But we have to wait around to see that, guys. So that's not coming for a while yet. So what the concentration of these guys is something not to be scoffed at. I mean, just sitting here in commentary team is can be quite difficult itself to sit here and obviously go through and watch these people go around, and especially when it starts quietening down this this part of the race. I am watching at the moment Peter Monkholm and after secured that gap. It's down to 6 seconds at the moment. I think that they are gaining. 58.5 is the best in that car so far. So really starting to get their arse in gear.
Yeah, it's amazing seeing these guys run sub 4 minutes. As you look further down the field, I mean, they're running 408s, 404s, 411s, 406s, and these guys up front, Pizzo and Sardinia teammates, they're running 58s. So very impressive.
That's right. And I'm just now kind of keeping an eye on this gap, and unfortunately we haven't got lap times for the last lap. Apparently, I think there might be a driver swap somewhere between the two. But the best lap for the DTR is better than the both the car in front of it and behind it. So the DTR on a charge. I always love this section of the track. A very fast section into a very hairy complex, Indianapolis complex. You have that very dragging the car right. You see almost forward drifting through there, really pushing the car to its limits through there. Then both feet on the brakes for the tight left-hander and up to Arnage, and it really is a very difficult part of a circuit, and if you get it wrong, you get it wrong big time.
Well, it's just the speeds that you get to on these straightaways, that's what makes it hard, I think. I mean, to be able to get the car slowed down that quick, be able to find your turn in, it's just crazy speeds out here, and you see it on the other straightaways going into the PlayStation chicane and Michelin chicane. I mean, if it wasn't for the speeds, some of these chicanes might be a little bit easier to navigate, but if you miss your braking point, like we've seen here today, it can be definite trouble.
That's what makes them on so much of a challenge. A lot of the time you're over 120 mile an hour, and for a good part of a lap you're full throttle. So there are a lot of points in this track where you have to slow the car down, get it in the right place, make sure it's on the right line, on which you can end up, like you said, putting it into the wall in a big way. And that's part of the challenge, and that's something that Rodrigo Borba is facing more than anyone else. He's having to do that on his own and keeping himself almost occupied. These guys at least have each other to race, which can be a good thing and can be a bad thing, as Peter Monkholm is closing in definitely on after security. We can see the gap actually kind of visually coming down. This will definitely be a battle to watch, and this will be for 6th place in the GTs, and it will be quite a return for Sim Racing Tech. Their future in kind of terms of race results isn't quite clear. They maybe have an hour added to that time, considering they actually missed the first hour due to an engine failure right at the start of the race, but that remains to be seen what the stewards will do about that. Otherwise, they've driven a very good race so far.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, early on we saw that issue, the nerves could have been playing an issue there. I mean, just downshifting too quick. You're so excited for the race, and one little slip up there, and we saw the flames.
Well, apparently it was some sort of error, technical error with the actual game itself, because they were given 1% engine when they actually entered the game, and that means obviously when you have that little engine, that if you downshift in any way that's a bit too aggressive, then you can just blow it up straight away, and that's what they did. So
yeah,
you never see, but
that's tough.
This DTR looking quite slow in a straight line, 275 kilometers an hour down the straight. We've seen people do 280 on their own, so that's 5 kilometers slower than the fastest guys, but still catching. Very close now. We're getting within the same second. Peter really charging. see if we can get an onboard shot of this coming out. This is going to be interesting, definitely. We're going to see just how close he can get. So with the onboard camera now, with driver's perception. Peter doing a great job to drag this car up the field from where it was. It was last at the restart. Now up to near 6th place. Although catching people is one thing, passing them is quite another, as a famous commentator once said. Look at the difference in braking. You can see how the sun is so bright now on this part of the track. Drivers have to deal with that.
That's coming into play a little bit here, and it's definitely going to come into play a little bit later on. Is these guys, you know, if you're running behind someone, you really got to concentrate on your exit. You know, exit. Make sure you're slow in, fast out, so you can get a really good run, especially on these long straightaways. Be able to get into that slipstream.
That's right. And again, it's kind of forward drifting through there. Not too great on the tyres for Peter, but I'm sure he's not too fussed about that himself.
Maybe seeing a move here soon. He's right up on him now.
Yeah, I'm just watching now. This is not a place I would do it, but he's having a look. This is going to be very interesting. Side by side with the Sim Racing PL car. Think about it, Peter. Oh, wow, braking.
And there's a little bit of contact there. His Monkholm kind of forces himself on through.
Muscles his way through there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I would do that myself, but it seems to have worked, I guess.
Puts him in the 5th place for this class. I mean, hell, for all we know, these guys are just bored. They want to race.
I don't think so. I think that at this point that Peter is just trying to get as far up the field as possible, because if they are out of an hour, they're going to lose pretty much all the time they gain. So they need to try and gain as much time as possible, you know, before the end of this. So we'll have to wait and see. Just watching now Peter negotiate the Dunlop chicane once more. In lap 30 now of this particular stint, after the red flag in the first hour caused by some sort of server error. Looking good though, server's been strong since then. Hopefully we won't have any sort of errors since then. We don't want to use that red flag screen more than we need to.
Yeah, that's right. Hopefully everything kind of stay together here. Although we are prepared for instances like that, and they got a really good group of guys, good stewards here to get everything lined back up if those incidents do happen. So we are prepared for that kind of stuff. So, I mean, last time it was pretty smooth getting back on track. So these guys know what's up.
They do indeed, and these guys still pretty close together. I think that the like I said before, in this hand's not that quick in a straight line compared to the Ferrari behind it, but it's not too big of an issue, seeing as how much space they seem to pull out in the corners. We saw it at the Porsche car, being very aggressive out there and pulling out a little bit of a gap. Not what I would do, but then again, I'm not in charge, so who cares, eh?
Yeah, we got almost 80 people watching on Twitch. Just want to welcome everybody in. Should we go down the viewer list? You want me to run down it? You guys want to hear some horrible name pronunciations?
Well, you can do that. I'm gonna grab some hard lemonade, so you do that, and I'm gonna come back and enjoy it.
Alrighty then. Just remember, guys, if you're not logged into Twitch, it's pretty easy. You just create a username and password, and then you can get chatting with everybody in chat. Be able to discuss whatever you want. The chat box is yours. So use it as you will if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves or ask questions. But we're going to be running down the viewer list. We got Alexio Mato, Bacho Grande, Bash Gaming, Big Gunner, Blue Phoenix, Cat Gimp, Dignified Bullet Enoch, Evain Delaney, and Fred 80, 4i, Grandpa, Racing Channel, Guitano Nano Lazo, Hickory Stickery Dickory Doo, it's Hans Plays Games, Inmates for Real, iRacer Bill, Iron Diggy, Jabberwocky, Talkie 09, Jetto Italiano, Hesper Christensen, Jimmy Allison, Joe Ciampa, and we also got Jay Plays, Lee Dude, Larietti, Lilies, 1313, Luke Bugatti, Mac 56 PSR, Major Hobbit, MC 0674, Mercy Kev, Night Stalker, Overblown, and we also got Rich 32, Rags _ Post-War Viper, Overblown. Oh, I already said that one. Hey, look, it's Showdown 1983, Thomas Beha, Tom Loshang, and Vatso and Vindis. Hey, welcome on in, everybody. We're 80 strong. If you guys don't have a Twitch account set up, it's easy. Just create a username and password like you do with everything else on the internet. Come on, people. We want to hear from you. And just go ahead and send your questions on the Twitch chat or head on over to GripTV Live Twitter account. Ask us anything you want. We're just here hanging out with you guys. It's a lot of fun, and we got a long way to go. Look at that ticker, folks. 20 hours, 42 minutes left to go in the VEC 24-hour Le Mans. Who's going to come out on top? Who's going to crash out? Who's going to do the flip and the overtakes? Oh, it's all coming up, folks. Stick right here. It's wild stuff.
If I see any flip overtakes, then that's going to be my highlight of the race, I'll tell you that. But
that'd be amazing.
I think that target car's been trying that for the race, but no, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
And I almost forgot Racehour. Sometimes it doesn't always pop up. And Thomas Beha. Oh, yeah, you guys are all there. We love to see. We love to hear from you guys.
Indeed, and it is the Twitch chat and Twitter chat, which is keeping us entertained, as you say, and amused. So obviously, anything that you guys want to ask us or just want to start a conversation with us, then go ahead and do it. We won't bite. But regards to go on.
Oh, I was just going to mention, I think I might have forgot Man Cave Motorsports, the most active man on Twitter. He's checking in too. Man Cave Motorsports. Shout out to him. He's a retweeter if I've ever seen one.
He's the most active Twitter person I've ever seen in my life. So.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome.
So we're just watching the GTE entry now, the Corvette without the front end. Wandale Costello in the Corvette ZR1, and just kind of wondering about if he's having the same sort of concentration issues that Bob may be having, where he's kind of racing on his own, not really racing anyone else around him, just kind of keeping the car on track. He's what kind of times is he doing here? Yeah, he's doing 58s apparently, or he did 58 as he goes wide in one of the Porsche curves. Okay, spoke a bit too soon, maybe trying a bit too hard. Now knows he's on camera, trying to shaft a little bit, and didn't quite go his way. But that's the Target Racing car behind him, the R8. So I'm sure he's trying desperately to get away from that. How did your name reading go, Malone? I was busy acquiring hard lemonade.
Got every single name properly pronounced exactly how they were meant to be. And, and we also got some screenshots up, so take a look at that.
Hence why I've been quiet for the last half an hour or so.
Yeah, I'm sure some people like those screenshots more than others, especially one of the flipping Jay Eklund. I'm sure he's not going to like that one, is he?
Yeah, those are beautiful screenshots. Yeah, very nice. Really captures everything that's happened so far. Quite a bit of action here, really, and that red flag, kind of the restart here, threw in a little wrench into the system there, but it's been a lot of fun so far.
Yes, indeed, and everyone's very kind of stretched out at the moment, as we kind of expected. Long track, long race. We might see some cars come back to each other as the race goes on, but at the moment, just kind of waiting, I guess.
Yeah, the only real action I see is Halverson trying to take over lap traffic here, and it'd be interesting to see how easily Kevin Wood kind of lets him by here. Halverson currently running third overall in his class. Kevin Wood eighth in his class.
So just quickly correct you, it was fourth overall for Halverson. Can't have you given misinformation, Malone? That's not on. But
I'd say overall he's running fifth.
oh, I just watched him really abuse that. That's what happens if you take the mick on those 4 chicanes. If you cut them to a point of silliness, then that happens. You get thrown about, and I'm sure Halverson now is, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do that again. Because that was very close to putting that car on the wall. Very close indeed. But I'm sure he'll be back on the behind Kevin Wood shortly. That car is a lot faster than the Aston Martin at the moment, and I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing Kevin Wood get out of the car soon. And actually, no, how long has he been in the car? Was he in the car from the start, or was that?
I have not seen Wood out of that car so far.
Yeah, so Wood will probably be likely to see him get out of the car soon. It's been nearly 3.5 hours, so props to him for staying in the car for that long. Halverson goes very wide again, nearly touching that wall there on the outside.
Yeah, and if anybody's watching that's, you know, just getting ready for their driver swap, jump on in TeamSpeak. We can have a little talk with you.
That's right indeed. Remember, guys, we're willing to hear from you. You're going to have to probably poke Matt or Stephen, or Mr. Bailey. Let's call him Stephen, so foreign.
Oh my god, you can't, what?
Yeah.
Don't poke me. I can see just fine here. If you jump in the waiting booth, we'll drag you on up here and have a talk with you.
Malone loves being poked, guys. Make sure you poke Malone on the way in. And make one of those guys aware of your presence. We'll drag you in here, and then we'll discuss, you know, obviously what we want to discuss with you. Any drivers who've been out on the track, you want to hear how the track is faring, how you're finding the car, how what your strategy for the races, or as much as you can tell us without obviously giving it away to the other teams. We are interested in all of that, so come in there and you know, give us your 2 cents or 2 50p pieces if you're me.
That's about the amount that Jimmy is worth right now.
Well, my desk so far, it's quite like, it looks really odd. I've got my notepad, and I've got an Apple, and then an Apple iPhone, and then 2 50p's and a glass of Malone's Hard Lemonade.
I raise your 2 50p's for 2 2p's.
Right. Let's go looking for money on my desk now. Also some business cards. I think you win. I've got €10 somewhere. I'm not quite sure where it is. So.
GT leaders in the pits.
There you go. Then back to actual conversation. GT leaders come in the pits both at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah, these guys are great teammates, man. They're running 1-2. They've got everything synchronized. They've definitely got a plan for today, and so far it's definitely working out.
Yeah, it's just at the moment it's just been like clockwork for those guys, GT Italia, and they've been ruling the roost. But they gotta keep it up. Yeah, just a fraction of the way into this race at the moment, and really is all about keeping the car steady on the road, and they have to do that for 20 hours yet.
Pizzo is moving to medium tyres on the front from the softs.
Okay, so maybe having some issues there at the tyres. We did see him have that incident at the PlayStation chicane where he kind of locked up and went a little bit wide, went over the course and actually lost the position to Sardina temporarily. That is interesting. I think we've just seen, that's right, Per Rosny has opted not to pit.
Yep.
And so Per Rosny and the Odin team temporarily take the lead of the GT class, and that won't last too long with the pit stop coming up there. It's just only a kind of temporary thing, but I guess it's lap led.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And driver swaps.
Oh, which one?
Yep.
I was going to say, that was the first lead change we've seen outside of GT Italia and GT3 so far.
That is, so thank you for that, Per Rosny, making that slightly more watchable for us. Not far down the road there now, we'll probably gain time on him as well through this lap, having even though the tyres will be cold, they've got the newer tyres, so
they have had a double driver change in the GT Italia cars as well.
We got some new names to butcher. It's Luca Rosetta and Alessandro Putio.
Where did you get that last O from?
Putio.
Yeah, how do you say it?
It's like Puti, I say Puti. Babidi. No,
any of the GT Italia guys wish to come into the chat and correct us, by all means.
Yes.
Yes, please.
So we want to get it right. It's not.
If you could record a soundbite for us that we could just play whenever we need to talk about their names,
really help.
that would be great. And
So these guys, I would say, Alessandro and Luco, you know, the pressure's on for them. You know, they're getting in the car, they're fresh. They saw what their teammates did, really putting together a heck of a race here. And now they got to match what they did here in this stint coming up. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on them and see if they can get into a good rhythm here early on.
Yeah, we had our overall leader in the pits, Borba, coming in the pits. Still in the pits now. Be interesting to see these guys pace, these GT Talent guys. Obviously, we know the pace. We knew the pace of Sardinia and of the guy I forgot who. Oh, Pizzo. Sorry, I forgot who was in the car then for a second. But now, obviously, new drivers, new pace. We could see a different story unfold.
Absolutely. It's probably, like I say, it'll take them a few laps as well to get into the rhythm of the race, as well as keep the lead going.
That's right. I mean, still watching our GT3 leader. Not for much longer, I'd imagine. I'm pretty sure we'll see him come into the pits either this lap or next.
Yeah,
I can't see him running too much longer.
I can't believe they go more than one lap more. Imagine we'll see it for Halverson as well. I can't see that he's had another stop since. No, he hasn't. He's due a pit stop.
Now, how much time is added to the pit stop with the driver change?
It depends. Usually it's around 45 seconds for a driver change. Okay. I believe. I mean, anyone who's in the chat who has experience of the rFactor 2 driver slots, you can come and tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the rFactor 1 was about 45 seconds from memory.
Because I'm just thinking, if Rosenly pits here but doesn't do a driver swap, could he be pretty close then to
he'd be closer than he was, yeah, but
right. I think the gap was pretty large there.
Yeah, it seems that the Luca Ridelli is having a couple of issues. He seems to have fallen back a little bit, or they're just having difficulties, both of them, getting the car where it wants them to be. Another off track from Kevin Wood. Let's see if we can find out where that was. That's down at Arnage. Let's have a look. Howard spins it on the inside of the track. Gets out of Jay Ekron's way, luckily enough. I'm sure Jay has had enough of anyone that isn't his, just anyone at the moment, and just driving on his own as he gets back on track. No damage though, so I guess that's the important thing there.
Yep, and Rosenly is on into the pits, and we're getting word from Joe Ciampa in Twitch chat that it's about 30 seconds for a driver swap.
Okay, well, I wasn't too far off, but oh well. One day.
We see the GT Italia cars coming around, and Alessandro does take the lead there for the GT cars.
Would you say they're coming around?
And they're coming around, taking the lead. And Per Rosenly is still in the pits. Let's see if he's going to do a driver swap.
I don't know, because Joe Camber is talking to us in the Twitch chat. So I assume maybe not, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that means he's sitting at his computer. That's okay.
Maybe Joe's got like some sort of wrist keyboard. This Northern Light car comes in as well.
Yep, Halverson coming on in. Throw some new skins on. Fabricio coming on in.
Yeah, here we go again. Here's the GT pit stop. It's interesting that those GT Italia guys came in that lap earlier.
Yes. Maybe just to avoid all the pit lane confusion here, because they knew everyone else. I mean, we got Peter coming in now. I mean, pit lane is busy, going in a lap early, get it taken care of, nice clean pit, get on out there, That's not a bad strategy.
Maybe, but obviously we saw that with the addition of them putting on the medium tyre as well, so maybe some wear issues.
Yeah. Well, when you're running that fast and way out in front there, I would imagine they're wearing their tyres a little bit more than some of these other guys going a little bit slower.
It's not hampering them too much, is it?
Well, no.
Yeah.
And not only have they been quicker than everyone else in general, but they've done it every lap pretty much throughout the whole race, so it wouldn't surprise me they got a bit more wear.
Right.
Oh, we've had our first rFactor 2 crash of the evening.
Is it you?
Yeah, it's me.
Well, at least,
we have stuff to, we have people watching the race still, and a nice track map from Timo to look at while we're waiting for that to come back again, so sorry about that, guys. Obviously, I was thinking too much that my computer could handle more than 3 hours of rFactor.
That's all right. Jimmy's gonna get it rebooted here. We're keeping our eyes on what's going on. We got Vestergaard now. Looks like a driver swap. Andreas Vestergaard now in for Sim Racing Tech and that GTR, so he's on his way out.
I'm afraid, guys, you're going to have to do all the talking because I can't see anything.
So we've had Thomas Behar get into the Team NLR #1 Ferrari as well, taking over from Halverson.
Yeah, and this is where it could get mixed up a little bit here with new drivers. Trying to control, it's a trust, it's so, these guys are so trusting of each other to do these driver swaps here. We know the setup has to be the same, so they really got to get a good setup that, kind of is good for both drivers here. So this is a lot of fun, these driver swaps. Per Rosenlee still on out there. 3rd place in his class.
Like Komisarchik's got back into the Sim Racing PL Lamborghini.
That's interesting.
Or was he in it anyway? I can't. Did they change?
I don't know. I don't, because it's a difficult name team. I don't recall coming along any more difficult names, so it's possible they didn't.
No, I'm mixing that with the Ferrari, I think.
Yeah, now
the Ferrari changed drivers last pit stop.
Yeah, so now Robert, wow, that's a tough one. Flazinski is on out there for Sim Racing PL. So more driver swaps here.
You've got this, Malone, don't worry. We believe in you.
I got this. Whatever happened to, like, Joe Johnson and, Bob Robertsons and stuff? Those are easy.
They're all racing in NASCAR, Malone.
Oh, that's right. They're turning left.
Joe Johnson Jr., the 3rd.
And I believe Per Oaksvitz driver swap for Eklund in Sim HQ Motorsports. Eklund, if you remember, was DQ'd due to going backwards after he got lost on track, but he was allowed back in. Sim HQ Motorsports, they're down 9 laps off the lead. Only about 4 laps, though, from the GT class, so be interesting to see after that little issue with the DQ on, we got a long race ahead of us, folks. They can stay out there, log some laps. You never know. They might get back in this thing.
Just seeing the 106 Ferrari of Perotti pulling away from his teammate. Going down the Mulsanne straight right now. So there was a driver swap on the Sim Racing PL Lamborghini. Flazinski's got into that car.
Okay.
And we are back. Sorry about that, guys. Apologies for the errors there. Also, our time has gone a bit skew with, which is a bit annoying, but we'll have to just deal with that as it comes, I guess. We'll have to keep an eye on the live time, just how much time there is left.
Yep. Do we have left? Where is my controller gone? There it is. We have 20 hours and 24 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
I love that. Efficiency by GripTV there. Definitely know what's going on.
Always. I think we'll have the GTE Corvette into the pits this time round. He's requested the pit stop already.
And somehow the shadow seems to become a lot better for some reason. Some weird reason. I don't know what's happened there. So happens when you complain, you get what you want. Hopefully it won't crash my game.
Vandal Castillo is into the pits.
Oh, we got a little bit of battle here for 5th place overall. Thomas Beja, Northern Lights Racing, trying to hold off Fabricio here in Firehorse Racing Gallardo. They're getting pretty dang close here. A little slipstream working.
Very close on track right now, and this is where it's going to matter coming down into the Michelin chicane, and Fabricio just breezes past him. That's it, done. Job done. And it's already pulled out enough the gap to really to be alright now down to the Mulsanne corner.
Jimmy, did you by any chance actually install those HDR profiles from the other day?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Should your game crash again? You know?
I am. I am.
Okay.
I already am. God damn it.
Okay.
See the abuse that I go through here, GripTV Nation. I try and provide a show. It's never good enough, is it? Just look at the chat. Thank you for the Jimmy Socks, mate. I appreciate that completely. But yeah, the graphical due to the game crash, obviously there was some sort of graphical improvement. I don't know how that happened. It really does look. It does look a lot better.
I've got to be fair. The game turned up to the max looks really good right now.
Let's take another look at the overtake. No, we won't. Okay. The overtake tool is the replay tool is decided not to work. The only way we're going to get the timer back now from there is going to be through some sort of error, I think. Some sort of another red flag, but we don't really want that. We might have to get another timer up though, a third-party timer, if possible. I will see what I can find after we watch Mr. Beja kind of just fall back from Fabricio, who's now 4th place.
Since Fabricio joined the league a couple of years ago, he's shown some serious pace.
So now he's in the car. Where is Perrosny on track, I guess, is the next question. He seems to have already quite a gap between him and Thomas Beja.
On the Mulsanne straight, heading for the first chicane.
So a bit of a gap between the two, but not quite out of the question. It's definitely not of this sort of time remaining.
Absolutely. And who knows what's to come still, especially with the weather, and we'll be going into darkness relatively soon.
So excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just trying to get a little timer out for you guys, because ours have actually broken, which is a real shame, because the timer is a kind of big part of the Le Mans watching it count down, so bear with me and we will get something nice up for you guys. How long do we have left, Mr. Bailey?
How long do we have left? Let me hit drive and I'll find out. We have 20 hours, 20 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Hours, 20 minutes right now.
So we're going to be a little bit off then, but I think we can get away with it. Where is it? Through the power of love, ladies and gentlemen, we have.
Through the power of love.
We have maybe a solution to our problem.
Just maybe. We got a little question coming in from Nicholas. I don't know if you guys answered it, but how many car classes? Was that answered?
There are technically 3 car classes.
3 car classes. We got the P1 with Rodrigo Borba in Target Racing AMR. He's out there by himself.
The one being the opposite part class. Of that.
Yeah, and also in the Corvette class, we got Juan Del Castillo. And we saw Jimmy Allison running the first stint there. Now it's his teammate out there, Castillo, and he's in the Corvette. And then all the rest of these guys out there in the GT class, so pretty interesting. This is just like a little test here for the Corvette, brand new content. So this is definitely a good way to test it on out.
Chikula's off in the Michelin chicane. He's probably going to lose that spot to Vestergaard. Indeed he does.
Yeah, spins it out, gets it back going.
There you go. They're executing now. See if we can actually get a replay of that. Hopefully, it'll work this time around. Nope, it's not going to, unfortunately. You'll have to bear with us. Again, the tool is kind of doing what it wants to do at the moment. Hopefully, it will come back into our favour in time. Well, I haven't got I've got a timer up here so I can see it, but you guys can't see it right now, I'm afraid. So I'll have to do my best to keep you guys posted on how long we have left. Currently, according to my timer, we have 20 hours and 18 minutes left of this race.
Right.
So a long time left yet in this race.
Yeah, it's a long time, guys. Get comfortable. We're gonna be here a while. Don't worry. You don't want to be clock watching, you know.
Guys at the top are saying that now they're watching the lap counter, saying it's now 43 hours left of the race. No,
Oh yeah,
you.
43 hours left, no problem.
Sorry, Timo is trying to guide me through getting some sort of timer on screen as I'm trying to do camera work and talk at the same time. He says that I don't earn my money, that I don't get.
Absolutely not, no. You're clearly not working hard enough.
No, no. Look at the gap that Fabrizio already has over Thomas Racehour. It's pretty much a whole pit straight now.
He's motoring me. Hey. Vestergaard had a spin and hit the wall in the entrance to the Porsche curves. He's lost that place again. Chikula.
Oh, so a little bit of back and forth here with those one-car accidents. You got to be careful of those one-car accidents.
So we're seeing some more mistakes creep in now.
Maybe they're getting a little, careless, you know.
Yeah, some of it's newer drivers getting in the car. Some people have been in the car for a long time now. Speaking of which, Kevin Wood is still in the Weasel Aston Martin.
And that's getting on to be 4 hours now. So, wow. I guess is all I can say to that. A good effort, definitely, from him. And I'm going to try one more time to get some sort of timer on screen. No BGs, I'm afraid, Bacho. BGs are not allowed on the screen. That's the stream. Since that complaint I got.
Don't have a problem with the BGs.
No, I was joking. No one can complain about the BGs.
I hope not. Moreira's in the wall in the Porsche curves in the Target Racing Audi.
Try and find him as quick as I can. There he is. He's out the wall now. But yeah.
Pretty sure he looks like he's really bent the right rear suspension on that car. It's weaving all over the place, coming back towards the pits.
Yeah, I can see that, and he's got Morissette. No, sorry, not Morissette now. Sorry, Ericsson behind him in that Can-Am car. Needs to really.
Wow.
That's a decision I wouldn't have taken.
And just see from his cockpit, his wheel is turned to the right a little bit.
Here we go again, I guess, as the as it goes around. So I'm just trying to get the timer sorted. Timo's trying out step-by-step instructions. I think he trusts me.
Yeah, I see that.
It is needed, in fairness.
See the baby you through, don't we, really?
Now I'm being told, oh no, this is bad. Oh no, this is bad. So again, guys, you're seeing the unparalleled professionalism of GripTV in the VEC 24 hours of Le Mans. We are getting near to being 4 hours into the race, about 10 minutes to go for that to happen. And at the moment, your leader, overall leader, Rodrigo Borba in the prototype class, unchallenged so far. And who leads from the second place overall GT3 leader of Alessandro Proti and Luca Ridelli in second place. GT Italia cars pretty much stomping so far. Long way to go yet. Perez only trying to do his best to gain. 40 seconds behind in the Odium racing car. Currently experiencing some mild technical difficulties, so bear with us, and hopefully we'll have a timer up for you very shortly.
Yeah, no rush on that. I mean, we'll get the timer up there for you guys. Don't worry, there's a long race ahead of us. Yeah, that's for sure.
Quite a few hours to do this.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, we are taking your questions at GripTV Live Twitter. So head on over to GripTV Live Twitter. Oh, we got a spinner.
Oh. And it's nearly collected by one of the GT Italia cars, actually, so that could be interesting as he tries to spin it around and then spins again.
Yeah, no, that's got to be down to the right rear suspension just being bent.
Yeah, I would have put it into the pits for sure.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, it looks like he just lost it mid-corner and then round it went.
So, Mr. Bailey.
Hello.
Another question for you as I'm trying to get this timer set up. When would the race end? If it were to end on time now, from now?
Time on right now. You're asking me to do maths, that is not my strong suit.
I am, unfortunately, and you have to comply, or your contract will be terminated. Actually, don't go.
That's alright, yeah, alright, I'll see you guys later, it's been great fun.
No.
Well, we've got 20 hours basically left. 20 hours from now, what are we looking at? Well, it should be about... When did the race start? So 4:30? It shouldn't be too far off of that, should it?
No, but
we did use up the time that
we're off in the background again, so...
Oh, I'm looking at about 10 to 5, something like that, 20 to 5 tomorrow.
10 to 5, you say?
About 20 to 5 tomorrow, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere around there. About being precise. Oh, God.
I'm so just elated at how great this is going so far. Get rid of that video, it's on his face.
Oh, we got a lot more time to screw things up, don't you worry. As
lots of time yet.
Well, just bear with us, folks, as we try to get the timer back up for you. I know it's the most important thing, and you know, we got a long way ahead of us. I don't think too many people do 24-hour LeMans right here, being broadcast the whole way. So, in for a treat here today. So, this thing's going to be going for another 20 hours or so, and it's been a heck of a race so far. Seen some good overtakes, seen some driver swaps. And right now, GT Italia running in the lead here. Two teammates, 1 and 2, per their class. Oh. Man, what do we got?
We've got Mike Erickson has put the Can-Am R8 into the wall at the extra of Tete Rouge, and he's knocked a wheel off.
Oh, that could be it for them then.
The car is still running, but it's
I'm watching it go down the straight and weaving like a bad boy down there. That's not good at all. Oh, okay, Mike. Maybe time to leave that.
Ooh, yikes. Well, I tell you what, you know, I mean, with a race like this, 24 hours, I don't think your lap times matter at all. It's just all about keeping your car clean here and the concentration that you need in order to do that. And yeah, unfortunate for Ericsson. Yeah.
Concentration is the absolute key to this. You lose it for a moment, and things like that happen. His race is quite possibly done.
Yeah, and all the preparation that put into this, a race like this, I mean, really the whole first part of the season, I think, is just gearing up to this race. Everyone knew it was on the calendar, and it's just, I know we had the short little 2.4 hour race earlier, and I had that 12-hour race, but man, this is the big event here, and you hate to see stuff like this happen.
The thing is, it isn't just his race, is it? It's not just his race, it's the rest of his team.
Exactly. Yep.
I think we have a countdown timer. We'll do. We'll put that somewhere more conspicuous than that, I think.
So Ericsson just trying to limp it back to the pits here. It's a long lap to get around and get it back into the pits. Hopefully he can kind of get back to the pits without causing any issues with any other faster traffic coming through.
We can hope that's the case. We've seen him already try and negotiate one of the chicanes and just barrel off the course, so maybe that needs to be sorted out a little bit.
Okay guys, we've got a slow moving GT in, that's sector 2, or is it, no, sector 1. Please have caution there.
Our race director there just confirming that is the case, and we need to kind of keep an eye out for that. He's trying to get off the racing line as much as he can. Very difficult to do when you're not in such control of your vehicle.
Yeah, definitely. Hard to keep it on track. If you see someone coming up, you get a little bit nervous. And yeah, just hopefully he can stay out of the way here and get back to the pits.
There's a case of Mike Harrison with woes. And I guess that could be it. But there you go. That's how LeMans goes. One mistake, and that could be it. Yellow flag, fastest part of the course now. So really needs to try and. There's one of the Northern Light cars. And that just looks horrible. I mean, we're getting on board view now with this car, and you'll see. One, how horrifying it looks, and two, the closing speed of the cars around him. That he's doing 80 miles an hour now. You can hear that the cars rubbing against the tarmac. I'm not sure where the nearest car on track is, but there you go, spinning in Indianapolis very nearly. Don't know how he kept that on track. Regardless of trying to get round, damage limitation is a thing, but I'm not sure if he's going to make it or not.
The vehicle is now in sector 3. Yellow flag, sector 3.
Getting word from Jimmy Allison just to let everyone know on the track where this slow car is moving. Ericsson right now just trying to get it back, going 75 miles an hour here with no front left wheel. Hopefully everyone is aware, got the message that it is a slow-moving vehicle.
Well, it definitely would have been able to hear that. I mean, bear in mind, obviously, that he interrupts us, so everyone else will get in the way. Interesting move, I guess, to actually massively cut the Porsche curve to make sure he doesn't get in the way of anyone. Here's why.
Curves. The car is in the Porsche curves. Yellow flag, sector 3.
Ericsson did pick up a summer job mowing lawns, so he's practicing.
One of the most expensive lawnmowers I've ever seen. One of these,
I'd say so.
Get rid of your John Deere, whatever the hell you have in America. Bring on the Audi R8. You can hear the cars coming behind him. This will see the speed difference through here. Now, can you imagine if he was on track there when that car went past?
Oh, jeez, yeah. Especially in this area here where going through these S's, you're really using most of the track. It'd be hard to stay out of the way. So I'd say he's definitely doing the correct thing right now, taking it easy. He's not going too fast where he's going to, spin out on the track. Just trying to get it back to the pit lane here.
Now, I saw this before. We saw this last year of a Spa race where there was a GT car who had a very similar incident, really broke the car to a point where it was just crabbing along the circuit, and just basically hit an invisible wall there to add insult to injury. Yeah, but just stayed off the track as much as it could, got back to the pits and got back into the race eventually, but it was dangerous enough.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for those invisible video game walls.
They'll take you. In our race, and you get swallowed into abyss, and this one you get smashed up, so rFactor 2 more realistic.
If it was iRacing, I'd be looking for the woods, because that's where your pit stall's at.
And here he comes into the pits.
So he finally makes it.
The damaged car is entering the pit lane. Green flag. Green flag.
And how about this for a change, eh? So we'll go on board with what will be the slowest car on track to the fastest car on track. Rodrigo Borba going through the S's, encountering traffic midway through. So sorry, the Porsche curve. Sorry. And we'll try and get out of this cockpit, Karen, because it shakes me around. And look how much it gets slowed up by the car. It's not really an issue at all because obviously there's no one racing him, but he has to slow right down.
Yeah, Ericsson pulling in the pits. Actually misses pit stall to back up a little bit and see if he can get this damage taken care of.
I'm pretty sure from memory that having a wheel come off is the end of the race.
Oh, it's back on. The wheel's on.
The wheel's on.
Okay, they found it. The guy, the GripTV interns doing their job out there, bringing the wheels back to the teams when they're lost.
Yeah, what a testament to their pit crew there to be able to have all the extra parts there available when they need them.
Weird is a good thing. We've got yellow flag in the first and last sector, so
TT Motorsport GTR is off in the entrance to the Porsche curves.
yes it is.
Just ran wide.
And then it comes back on. Oof.
I'm not sure how much he looked to his right, I gotta say.
Yeah, that was a bit much for me there, definitely.
Just want to point something out that these shadows are getting pretty tall here.
Yep.
The sun's starting to go down, so we're gonna be getting into some different day-night cycles here.
That's right, the shadows are actually there, and they are tall, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to rFactor 2 on Jimmy's computer. Running okay for a change, apart from the one crash. But we'll get there, ladies and gents. As we watch Fabrizio Mafusi still charging forward in that Gallardo. I think he is gaining some time on Pero, isn't he? Not massive amounts, but I think he is, second here, second there.
Alessandro Proti's managed to pull out a really good lead now over his teammate.
I think that Proti may be the quicker driver out of the two of them. We see that Pero has also gained, considering the gap was around 45 seconds, now down to 30 seconds between him and second place. So that could be something interesting. We could actually see GT Italia cars be dethroned from the top of the field if this pace continues anyway.
A little bit quicker than both of them.
That's very interesting actually, because that 50-second gap hasn't really changed since the pit stop, and I guess that him and the guys at the front, Mr. Proti, are kind of trading lap times at the moment.
Yep, and if people are wondering about the track temperature, ambient temperature, it has gone down a little bit. We're down to 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's quite funny because this weather is kind of reflecting the weather around here at the moment as well. It's kind of a bit colder in my room at the moment. Look at my dressing gown on, dressing down speed as it's known. And
usually enough of the dressing gown speed.
You don't know. There's a reason for that. But like Mine said, yeah, track's getting a little bit cooler now. We're going to start seeing each other get longer, and night time will be upon us before you know it.
It's a really long repair job on the Can-Am R8. It's still in the pits.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm really hoping, for the sake of viewership, that Per ultimately does reel in that GT Italia car. I want to see these cars challenge. You know, it's not fun seeing one car stomp the whole thing. I'm sure Borba's thinking that there right now.
Yeah, I'm just wondering how much, how easily Jansen's is going to let Rosenli by. If Rosenli can catch some of the slipstream, that'll help him out a little bit.
Oh, that reminds me. Do I still have that link up? I do indeed. Now, this is a treat for you guys, if I can get it running.
Here we go.
Let me get everything working, sorry.
Uh-oh, don't hype it up too much.
Yeah, I had it working at the start, but because of various things that broke, they stopped working, shall we say.
Looks like Night Stalker in Twitch chat says Twilight is the perfect time of day for the fastest laps. We'll keep our eye on the lap times these guys are pulling. Some of the faster GT cars are running sub 4 minutes pretty consistently, but we'll keep an eye on that for sure.
Okay, so let's have a look at Mr. Arena, shall we? Here he is. And there he is, and here's our treat for you, ladies and gentlemen. There he is on screen right now. That's him on board, pretty much matched up. We haven't got your sound for him, unfortunately. It's just the webcam driving that Group 11. I think it's a rare car.
That's fantastic, isn't it? It really is.
That is awesome.
Sorry, Batch, no VGs.
A motion cockpit to go along with the triple screens. Yeah, that's a pretty impressive setup there. That's the way to do it, folks. If you want to get involved in sim racing and you want the full immersion, take a look at this guy's setup. That's how you do it right there.
I think we'll keep our camera on that for a while. I wonder what the onboard looks like, if we can get that going as well.
Quite possible his game looked better on the webcam than yours did before you restarted.
I'm glad you pointed that out. That's very kind of you.
Yeah, Rare Endurance, they're running right now 5th place in the point standings. So Jansen's there, got the full rig going. He's trying to do everything he can for his team.
So awesome that you got that set up for us, and it's just a treat to watch it. And we've just been joined by Oscar Hardwick, a commentator over, I think it's Racehour it's called. Oh, kind of got a part-time commentator, I believe, and second place to Stephen Bailey yesterday in the Indianapolis race. We'll,
That's brutal.
Straight away in the low blow. I tried my best, but you know, I don't think that's anything to be upset about losing to Bailey. He's a very talented bloke on the track, so.
Not at all. We're currently watching Rinus Janssens on the onboard and his onboard via webcam, and awesome display seeing this stuff going on. Oscar, have you been watching? Are you completely fresh to this? Do we have to go over a recap? I think now is a good time for a recap.
I think, if not for my benefit, but for the benefit of those watching, definitely a recap, because I've been busy all day and have literally just sat down at the PC.
Okie dokie. Well, we are in into our 4th hour now of the race here at the VEC, the Mans 24 Hours, watching the awesome onboard shots from Rinus Janssens there. One prototype took to the field and is still in the field. That's Rodrigo Borba and the Target Racing team, and they're currently leading, and no surprise, the GT Italia guys have been leading pretty much the entire race, although now Per Rosenli in the Odeon Racing car is starting to reel them in, and had Joe Camper saying, you know, watch this space, you know, watch out for this. So we're going to hopefully see some sort of progress there for those guys. We had a car blow up right at the start to be let back into the race. That's the sim racing tech car, I believe, currently being driven by Andreas Vestergaard. So they're in 6th place in the GT category. And of course the GTE Corvette out there, the UID Corvette is out there in its own little class, running around its own. We just saw it be in the background here of this car. I think I just heard it spin actually in the background, so we'll ignore that and say that URD is the best and move on.
Well, I don't think a car spinning is necessarily going to be representative of the mod. And 4 hours into a race, I think anyone having a sneaky spin here or there due to just, you know, lapses of concentration is to be expected. And from what I can see, sort of hitting the twilight hours now. So I guess people gearing up for when it hits that nighttime stage, and they've really got to keep their wits about them despite being tired.
Yeah, we've just been saying that, and people saying that this is where we're going to get some faster lap times coming in. So that's going to be pretty interesting to watch if we do get that indeed. Are you familiar with the weather forecast, Oscar?
Again, not completely, but I'm guessing from your tone of voice, not as pleasant as people were hoping.
You guessed correctly. Up until about I think about 2 AM this morning, we're going to have nice kind of clear skies, and then the heavens are forecast to open for pretty much the rest of the race. So
that doesn't sound like LeMans at all.
No, not at all. So we're really looking forward to that, and obviously that different stage of racing, the different type of racing that's going to come with that those conditions. But at the moment, though, we're just chilling out, watching some fantastic onboard footage from the webcam of Rinus Janssens. You can watch it. I can find actually a direct link for you guys here if you want to watch it. But it's fantastic, and it's a real treat, and we thank him for putting that on for us, because that's went out of his way to do that, I imagine. So let's try and find. There we go. Something I noticed about his onboard, he's darkened his whole rim out just to make sure, like, it's, you know, that level of realism is there. You can see, like, all there is the monitors, and that's very cool to me.
I'll be honest, that setup does look absolutely fantastic. I'm quite jealous of it, to be honest. I feel as though I'd quite like one myself.
Yeah, I'm drooling over here.
I mean, we got a brief look at it earlier when it was not nighttime, I guess, and it's a Fanatec wheel, the Club Sport, whatever the good Club Sport wheel is, with the BMW GT2 rim, I believe it is, along with the Fanatec shifter box that he's not using, using the paddles. I think there's actually a thread on the forum about his rig. It's got a motion rig, so the seat moves around when he moves around, and all in all, that's like quite an immersive experience, I think. And you can see we've got it pretty well matched up with what you see on screen. Maybe like a millisecond here or there, but looks pretty damn good from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, it really does. And with such a long endurance race like this, you really need to turn off the lights and get that full immersion going. I think that definitely helps with concentration. You know, just focus on the track in front of you, keep it going, like you're actually in the car. You know.
I remember back from rFactor 1, a bit of endurance racing here and there that I either commentated on or took part in. A lot of people would actually turn up the contrast on their monitors, so even when it got dark in terms of the server and at night, they could still clearly see the track boundaries and where they were going.
But there are some people
on the monitors as well, wasn't it?
There are some people who do that, and there are some people who I would excuse that. But there were talk of people running without headlights earlier because of that reasoning. I don't think that's on personally. I think that people, if it's night, you run with headlights because it's dark, and some people aren't going to have that on, and you can end up causing a massive crash. But hopefully that won't be the case. We'll see what happens when the night falls. It's not going to be too far away now. Sun is setting. Those shadows are very long now, and we're looking for really looking out for this. For the night time to come. I love night racing myself. It's a treat. Everything, the sense of speed is a lot greater because you can't see anything when you're going past it, and it's just brilliant fun.
I had a similar level of visibility when racing daily yesterday. So
yeah, and the track temperature is going down even further, and we're down to 69 degrees. So as the sun goes down, the temps are going to fall.
We're being told by Jimmy Allison, our Lord and Saviour, that headlights will be required. There are going to be headlights required, so we are going to see that happening, which is fantastic for us because it will look good for a change, and also for the drivers because it will be safe. So that's good.
Yeah, and like you say, you've got to require it because not everyone will be running, you know, certain contrast settings or anything like that. There will be people that run it so that it is pitch black and they need the lights to see where they're going.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I know I like the realism. I like the fact that I can't see. Get the lights on. Although the other day I tried taking an F1 car around Silverstone at night, and that didn't work too well because I couldn't see where I was going at all because there were no lights anywhere.
Did you forget to attach the WRC lights package to the nose?
No, I put it on the rear spoiler. So about the only place it would fit, wouldn't it? But probably good that we didn't do that, and we see now Rinus coming up to the back of the TT Motorsports car, the Hulk, if we've named it affectionately, or not so affectionately, and that's lapped again. Not too great of a showing for them. They've kept it fairly clean. There have been a couple of incidents from them. We saw the most recent one where I think they turned in too much for Indianapolis and just bonked to the front of the car. Then, for good measure, they decided to bonk the back of the car as well. But they're on the road now, they're running around, so that's good enough for them, I guess. I think I'm jealous of anyone with triple screens looking at this this cockpit again.
Yeah, I mean, with triple screens, I think it doesn't take away from it, it just really allows you to get an understanding of where exactly your car is and how big it is, because with one screen, I mean, you can be missing that whole left or right hand side of the car.
That's right, I mean, I think Bailey and I were talking about this a while ago now. Remember Bahrain in the R18 when we had to do that for turn 1, you just couldn't see. You couldn't see it.
Absolutely impossible.
And it was to the point where, you know, I never raced in the hood cam ever, but you know, I raced in the had to race there because you just couldn't see where you were going, and it was.
No, there was no. It was. Even though there was a cone on the apex of the corner, you still couldn't see the corner. It was one of those. It was actually one of those moments where I thought, Christ, another monitor to my right would actually help. I would be able to see the corner, but
you have 2 monitors and you have to move them around as the track goes around, so you can see what's going on. That is some ghetto work right there. You know, a lot of people talk about how rFactor 2 doesn't look the part sometimes, you know, and I can agree with them for the most part, but watching the sun go down, watching the shadows get longer, even though obviously there are some kind of basic textures and the track is an rFactor 1 conversion effectively, I still think it looks really good. I'm still like seeing them race at night and then doing something that pretty much no other sim will attempt at the moment, as you go to that night time. It's great, as Rinus turns on the lights a little bit and you can see a bit more of his cockpit. I think he's aware it's going to be. I mean, I think he knows he's on the stream, that's why. He's like, I've got to get the lights on.
Yeah, I got a feeling he's not just running 3 monitors. He's got a laptop going and another extra monitor there.
Oh no, we saw him earlier. He had a some sort of tablet. He had the phone as well. You know, the smartphone. this guy, he knows what's up. He's got all the stuff he needs.
In the future, man.
He is. He's from the future. He's come back to race with us. That's very kind of him to do that. But I guess an interesting topic would be about realism. Obviously, we see that he's got the motion simulator. We see that he's got obviously the very reputable force feedback wheel. You, as much as you can get, you know, as close as you can, sim racing I think will never be truly realistic. And we discussed this the other day on the SRL TeamSpeak very briefly. You know, about how you could. There's not the sense you get when driving the car. You don't feel the brake. You don't feel the accelerator. You don't feel the gear engage. You get a little bit of, you can get some sort of force feedback and obviously some sort of G-force through some sim rigs that will produce that, but I think 2G is the most you'll get, which is still fairly impressive. But there's never that fear, I would say, that kind of confidence. Yeah. I mean, let's say for example we are in this Skada right now, we're going around this corner, and now this may be more, but the thing I think of here is something, okay, a guy died around this corner last season, I would slow down, you know, I'd make sure my line is right, and keep going. Sim racing, there's not really any sort of consequence if you crash. I mean, you may, you know, obviously lose the race to your team. You may feel a little bit down about it, but there's no financial or you know, personal kind of loss when that happens.
Yeah, I get what you mean, particularly with the endurance racing. You know, if you looked at actual endurance racing, everyone's, you know, turned the wick down on the engines. Preserving tyres, brake, this, that. Whereas in sim racing, more often than not, you tend to see 24-hour races be 24 hours of hot lapping. Because once you're by yourself, you just need to hit every apex as quickly as you can. Whereas, you know, in actuality, the cars would be lapping, you know, 6 to 7 seconds slower than what their qualifying pace would be at the best of times during these races.
Here's an example there, not of hot lapping, but of kind of just like the almost carelessness, as we saw Rinus just take a big sip of drink when going down the straight, one hand off the wheel sort of thing. I know it's not uncommon to see people with one hand off the wheel, but he wasn't even looking at the screen for a while, you know. And it's interesting you say that, Oscar, about people hot lapping, because Borber is pretty much having to do that right now, because he's racing on his own. He's having just to drive to the point where almost a boredom. And that is where, you know, mistakes are gonna happen with us. But in the real world, the mistakes would mean, you know, possibly injury, and obviously you lose money in the car as well.
And you know, I've done this year myself the British University Karting Championship with I think one of the rounds you had Tom Ingram turn up and whatnot. So people that are substantially better than I am in an actual car. Because I felt like a rank amateur, but you get in those things and they're just go-karts, and you're thinking, well, I can't go that fast around the corner surely, because I'll spear off the track, fall out and hurt myself. Because that's something there, when you're sitting at your desk with your wheel, you think, I don't want to crash because then I won't beat Bailey. Not that I seem to have that in me at the moment, but you know, it's literally just a case of worst case scenario, I crash and rage quit. Whereas in the actual racing, or you know, just driving go-karts yourself, the real consequences are broken bones or worse if you have a big off. And again, it's that mortality that comes into it when you're in an actual car. And yes, there's other sensations to do with realism, but your whole mindset changes when you go from a simulated car to a real one. I think that's probably one of the more important things to bear in mind when we talk about realism.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, we talk about you know, cars rolling, and as we saw, we see Rinus make a mistake on screen. Oh, no. Sorry, mate, we've seen that, but we've seen that in two different ways, and he's not too happy about that. But you know, when we see cars rolling in rFactor, it's normally quite funny. You know, it's quite funny to see a car rolling around or silliness. But I've personally been in the crash where my cars roll, and it's terrifying and very painful. So it's not something that I'd recommend in real life.
That's not facing the right way on the stream.
It wasn't, no. He put it in the wall. We didn't notice that very quickly, unfortunately. So bad luck to him. But he's going all right. He's back at it again. We might give him a little bit of a break because he's been on stream for a while now, probably feeling the pressure of being the media darling.
Thousands of eyes looking down on you.
Well, now everyone knows how to get a lot of stream time here. Just install a webcam.
Everyone's saying he's had one sip too much of his drink. I like the idea of people talking about, you know, we were saying about you don't really get hurt in sim racing crashes. Batcher has volunteered to stand behind you with a 2x4 of wood, and if you crash, it's going to hit you on the head with it.
I fear he'd take great pleasure in doing it as well.
Express flight, first class flight over for him and his plank of wood, one seat each, and then come over and batter you. Or have like spring-loaded concrete walls at each side of you. So like, oh no, just smash into you when you crash.
Well, here you go. This might be a reasonable way to put the fear into somebody. Is you got these motion cockpits, and they're moving around, and that kind of adds a little bit of the G-force. But as far as the, you know, getting hurt kind of stuff, why don't you just add electric nodes, and you get a little shock if you end up going off track or hitting a wall? I mean, you know, you gotta. Is there a reasonable way to put the fear into these sim racers? I mean,
you know, there is a it's not quite for sim racing, but there's an interesting like jacket vest type thing developed for first-person shooters. Not so much Call of Duty, 'cause you just get pounded by it all the time. But like for stuff like, you know, realistic kind of combat simulators, call them, where if you got shot, there'll be like a something in your chest that like hits you in the chest, so you feel it when you get shot. And it's not a painful thing, but it's like, ow, stop it, you know.
Yeah, it can't be too painful, just enough to where you wouldn't want to experience it too many times, you know, or be like, man, I really don't want to go off track because I'm going to get a zinger here, and I really don't want to get a zinger right now because you know, it'd be just enough to where it would keep you from doing it.
I can imagine just, you know, 50,000 volts if you get shot. Like one-time use.
Turn it down a little.
Yeah, not to use a pacemaker. But now we're just watching Per Rosny going around. I've still got Rinus up on my little screen here, just watching him, making sure he's all right, because I don't want to have him on the screen for too long. 'Cause I'm sure he won't enjoy just being the centre of attention. Maybe he will, but tough luck. Is basically what I'm saying. But we're watching the third place car now, GT car anyway, of Per Rosenly, and he's still gaining. He's still gaining on Luca in that second place GT Italia car, and we could see in the next hour or so maybe Per challenging for second place overall. Sorry, second place in GT cars, which is third overall, I believe.
He's very consistently been about 2 to 3 seconds quicker than Luca's been, just ahead of him.
It's been clean so far, and maybe also these conditions kind of playing into the setup of the Odin racing car. Maybe they're kind of working better in these kind of lower grip conditions, or maybe high grip conditions. I'm not quite sure which way it goes with the temperature. Sometimes it goes high, sometimes it goes low. I mean,
we've just also seen an increase in pace from Quote. He's been 5 consecutive laps in the 58s now.
And again, for context, 54 54 was our pole time from the GT Italia car company driven by Puoti. That was set by, I think it was it Pizzo said that, or Sardino said that?
Pizzo.
Daniel Pizzo said that. I get confused with GT Italia drivers. But, very quick time, and to be 4 seconds off that, in race pace isn't bad at all.
Not around a lap of this length as well. I mean, you think last night we were like nearly 2 seconds off of what we were running in qualifying, just around a 1 minute 30 odd minute lap. So, minute 30 odd second lap.
Yeah. Oh, why didn't you slow down more at the end? I think it's one of those things now that probably won't get let go for a while.
No,
I'm not mentioning it at all.
I know you haven't. It's just been other people.
I'm gonna get a tattoo of the plastic fantastic on my hand and have Oscar Killer like on the. Don't worry, Oscar. I've also been murdered by that wheel many times, so you're not alone.
I know. It's so upsetting when 30 pounds of who knows what that's not really a wheel just absolutely decimates you like that.
Of like Korean dog bone meal.
Yes. It's just.
Moulded into the shape of a steering wheel. I think
when I see Bailey's wheel, I just think, I don't know, paperweight, maybe? It can't be useful for more than that.
I think that you should post a picture of your wheel in the Twitch chat if you have it. I think you
really want to be the centre of attention, but
I think you should.
If you really want me to post it,
oh, well, yes. You're contractually obligated to listen to me.
Post it, and then I'll have to go and cry for another half an hour after last night's defeat.
Have you seen the Plastic Fantastic before, then?
No.
Okay, this is the wheel that our very own Stephen Bailey raced with, and obviously bear in mind the pole lap for the GTs was a 54. Pretty much a 53.1, wasn't it, in the Corvette? I could have gone faster. That is the wheel he uses. It is. It's not the exact version. The exact version has some modifications to it.
So you just set that. You just set that right in your lap, then, huh? That works good. Yeah, that's good.
Well, it's so demoralising when in the last 12 minutes you've spent 500-600 quid on a new T500, and then that just sort of rolls up in rFactor and says, "What?"
Well, that kind of reminds me of Michael Rasmussen using a broken G25. I mean, this thing, the brakes would always stick, could never get it right, and he was making world record times on Road America. So that's when I knew that equipment doesn't really matter. It's more the driver, but I guess that only goes to a certain point.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I tell myself sleep at night. It's like, yeah, it's just that he's used to the wheel, right? I'm not used to my wheel. We have with us John Fabricus in the box, some more commentary help. Hello, John.
Hello.
And he's going to be joining us hopefully for a nice stint in the box. Have you been keeping up to date with the race, John?
Yeah, basically I've been out most of the day. It's been nice sunny weather, but actually I'm just came into the office right now, so office is actually my house here, so...
That's alright. You're making me feel bad now of this nice sunny weather, because I've been just looking at it from inside going, logging me pouring at it, wishing I could be out there, but that's what happens when you're a hardcore commentary team, such as GripTV.
I don't feel too bad, the forecast was awful today.
Yeah, but it lied.
It's my defence.
Even though I saw it be sunny outside, I thought, nah, it's going to rain later, so
absolutely,
I'm going to stay inside. should probably have another look at the old Corvette, shouldn't we? See how that's going.
But you should actually know. Actually, we went to the Le Mans in October last year in Kolding, and with the whole team there for the first time. It's an excellent event. So we hope going there back again actually this year, if there will be something. I don't know.
Well, that's pretty damn cool. I mean, closest I get to Le Mans is either here or on my TV screen. I mean, maybe that's the closest I want to be. I don't know. One day I'd like to go, I think. But the horror stories I've heard of the camps around there sounds like something out of some sort of war thing. So maybe not. You know, sharing. Oh, I don't want to think about it.
I think it's something that you've got to do once at least, just to see just the experience of being there. Actually, at the 24 hours, would be amazing. Right? I
think it would be. I know. I'm used to my sitting inside in this at the moment. So I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. That's fine. I like how the chat seems to have taken the kind of the turn of how will we explain our massive sim rigs to our girlfriends, and obviously I have a fiance. Very luckily, she's an awesome lady, and the first thing I did to her when I first met her and she first came to like my flat or my apartment, I guess it was at the time, show her the wheel and be like, this is my steering wheel. And I was straight up front, I was like, this is a steering wheel and it's awesome. And she's like, yeah, it is pretty awesome. And I let her go on the steering wheel, and I was like, right, now you don't go on the steering wheel anymore. But
get something like that out of the way right away, you know, and make sure she's you know, you might as well show her right away. That's a good strategy.
But I think the whole idea of kind of like hiding the hobby is really like a bad idea, because it's like almost like cheating on someone. You sneak away at night. You know, what's that sound? What's that laughter? He's having. You know? And it's just.
That's when you're passing someone, right?
You're like, I'm the best.
How long did Ian Mills try and hold his wheel from his current girlfriend?
A long time. And it was a long time. And only recently he's been like, yeah, I'm going to do a race on Saturday, so don't come over. I don't go that far. Like, Marie does have precedent over sim racing, but only just.
Jimmy, you actually gave me a good idea how to brag about something for your girlfriend. See my wheel?
You see my wheel? You see my 1080 degrees of rotation?
Exactly.
My H pattern shifter.
1080 degrees of rotation, making up for something. It's okay, I have a T500 too, so.
Apparently I had a P1 crash. We can't get the replay of it because of the way the thing, my tool was kind of broken since we had to come back in again. But the car seems to be okay from looking at it. There's no damage, although he is now running very wide into the grass. What's he doing? Well, no, he's coming. No, he's going to go around again, so there's not much damage to the car, but
okay, he just had a spin coming out of it, and it's just gone the power a little hard, maybe. It's actually he was a little late on the brakes, a little wide.
Something
that was it, just a little spin.
The Corvette that we've been watching for the past 10 or so minutes, one thing that impresses me is that there's no front bumper, because yesterday I tried my hardest to make my front bumper fall off, and regardless of how many cars I ended up accidentally crashing into, it wouldn't break. So I don't know how to manage to do that with the Corvette. Very impressive.
Jimmy barely hit the wall earlier as well, and it just fell off. It was
really?
Completely opposite to yesterday, yeah.
Don't go and have a look at what I did to poor X Simpson. I am silly sometimes. There's a problem with me. I'm not safe behind the wheel. I should be like forced to do knitting and commentating forever and just nothing else.
Oh my god. So I'm just I'm getting a bit too involved in the Twitch chat now, and it's really degraded very quickly.
It's somewhat addictive, isn't it?
But I think something maybe we should probably look at is now the 12-second gap between the second and third place in the GT class. Luca Rodelli is falling back into the clutches of the Olding racing car. I'm sure behind the scenes Joki Amper is rubbing his hands together in glee as he goes wide. This is going to help out. Wide, nearly hitting the wall.
At least.
But that's going to lose a lot of time. It's a very fast section through there. And to mess up through there is a pain. You see the crowd to the left. Very mobile as usual.
Do you guys know anything about the coming weather within the next few hours?
Oh, we do indeed, and that's an excuse to show the picture that Timo very kindly did for us. Here it is. Currently we're in the evening, I would say. The weather is cloudy. 20% probability of rain, so probably not going to see any. 25% probability at night. But then getting into those early morning hours, we've got a 90% probability of rain. So we're probably going to see rain tomorrow morning at some point. Big rain, big rain. And that's really going to mess up any strategies that are out there. Well, I guess the strategy will be made around it, but it's a completely different sort of driving. And then I predict spins, I predict crashes. I think it's going to be fantastic to watch. Probably not to drive in, but well, I'm not driving, so.
No, you did that yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't. That was hell yesterday. But it's going. The race is going really well so far. The gap now down to 7 seconds for GT Italia Redelli. I'm sure now he's very aware of that. We might even see start seeing that Odin racing car start coming to the frame soon, given how long these straights are. In fact, there it is. You see it in the same shot. And I am not out of any sort of what's the word, bias, but I'm rooting for the Odin racing team just because I want to see a battle. I think everyone is feeling the what's the word I'm looking for? Withdrawal symptoms. There you go, of the racing, which was some great racing earlier on. Yeah, but we need to try and stay on topic as much as we can. That's not working too well either. So we are at the 4.5 hour mark now.
It wouldn't be a 24-hour race without the commentary team going off topic at some point.
True.
No, that is right. And here at GripTV, we are no exception.
Fabrizio just had a spin coming out of the Ford chicane. Looks like I think he missed the wall anyway.
I wish the replay tool was working again. That's really nice. Nah, then we haven't got 13 left. 13 seems to be the maximum that is displayed on this little board thing here. We have 17 cars running at the moment. These are the top 13, I guess. If you look at the top of the ticker, you can see at the top of the ticker. That's a hard one. You can see everyone that's classified, or the GTs anyway. The GTE car, I'm not quite sure what that is. It's currently in 9th overall, so that's between Kevin Wood and Artur Sikula. But at the moment, yes, this is the way it's going. Borba leading the race by quite a way, about 6-7 laps now. He's got over the rest of the field, not surprisingly. And the GTE car being tested is currently sitting in 9th overall as we watch Luca Ridelli come into the pits early. And also, Perotti comes into the pits as well. So again, keeping that same strategy. Now, what will Per Rosmany do? Will he go around again?
Well, if this is
there he goes.
The same amount of laps as last time, then he will let it go 2 laps longer.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking now, because this is where this kind of comes in. This fuel kind of consistency. Maybe they're running a lower engine.
Perhaps. We've also got Hultquist into the pits as well in the Sim HQ Ferrari.
It's actually quite funny for me to see some of the drivers there. We actually competed against those guys in Colling.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with these drivers as well. And I'm sure a lot of people in the TeamSpeak car. I raced against these guys last season, and some of these guys were really quick, and a lot of the guys were in GT cars, and I'm sure I was a bane of their existence for a little while, being in a prototype and being a very pushy prototype back in the day before I learnt my manners.
Before you met me.
Yeah, before I was drilled into me by the drill master.
And you're his wife?
God, I hope not.
I am definitely the woman of the relationship, if we're going to put that there. Don't worry.
Bailey's still trying to teach me manners.
We've seen Quote's put softs back on the front of his car, changing from the mediums.
I guess maybe the cooler conditions helping that out a little bit. But Per Rosmany now is the one to watch. He has what looks like what could be 2 laps now over the kind of fuel wise and tyre wise, but he's going to be losing time surely, Bailey.
Well, I feel like Quote's stop was really quick because he's not that far back.
No, he's not at all, is he? But
he just changed one set of tyres.
Well, no,
could just change the fronts or something.
Perotti was about 52 seconds ahead.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the Ridelli that wasn't. Obviously, he's got the 104.
Actually, what is a pity? I supposed to drive tonight.
You were supposed to drive, you say?
Yeah, we actually signed up too late for the whole race, so yeah.
Oh man,
It's a shame. We could have used the participation, to be honest. Was that another GT entry? Were you going to race a GT car?
GT car, yeah.
Oh, me need a prototype in there. Austin, don't get a prototype. Go and drive the next 19 hours, will you? That's your new job. Go in there,
Okay.
go fight Borba for a bit. All right, I will do it.
How many laps in is he?
Yeah, you've got a while. Oh god, 70 or so, I guess. Or,
I can make that back. Yeah.
God.
Let's do this. No, we're not allowed to put me on track in LMP ones at the moment.
No.
It's just not. It's not safe for
Are
anyone.
we ever?
Well, I hope so.
Well, guys, we got 98 people watching this race live right here
Wow.
on Twitch. Let's get it up over 100, folks. And don't forget, we are taking your questions at GripTV Live Twitter account. So if you got any questions you want to aim towards us here at the broadcast booth, we're just hanging out, having a good old time here. So head on over to GripTV Live Twitter. Let us know what you think.
And that's not just questions, it's any kind of discussions, any kind of points of view you have, or any insight. We want to hear it. You know, anyone who wants to come into the booth who has access to the TeamSpeak, then by all means go step in the waiting booth. We'll see if we can get you in here for some questioning and some probing and some interrogation. Our favourite type of thing here at GripTV. So
yeah, plenty of room up here in the booth. We got a bunch of guys. It's fun hanging out. I'm just sitting back listening, man. You guys are funny.
There's a sausage booth.
So, Jimmy, when we reach 100 people watching, would you repeat the names again?
Oh no, that was Malone who did that.
That was
He
me.
can do that. But yeah, I'm sure we can do that. I've got a spare half an hour that I can I can wait for that to happen.
Yeah, guys, don't forget if you're just watching, you know, incognito view or something, or you don't have a Twitch account, come on, get yourself a username and password, sign into Twitch. That way you can start chit chatting with us in the Twitch chat. So become part of Twitch and don't miss any live racing action. Hit that follow button if you haven't already.
Chit chat in the Switch chat. Is that what we just said?
That's right. Getting chatty in the Twitch chat.
I can't say that. I'm just noticed that Per Rosling's now come in the pit, so only the 1 lap advantage he's got over them. But I don't know, it's going to be tight whether he gets out in front of Rodelli. How long has Per been in that car?
Since the start of the race, I think.
Yeah, I forget there's only 2 of them. Now, will Joe be getting in the car? Because if so, he's going to lose some time, isn't he?
I haven't seen Joe post in the chat for a while, so possibly.
Yeah, that could be. We could see him coming in, driver swap, first one. That is a long stint, man. I tell you what. That's pretty impressive.
Speaking of long stints, Kevin Wood is still in the Aston Martin.
We have... okay, guys, now last year we had a roving reporter in the stream. His name was Nick Newcomb, and we have been graced now with his presence in the waiting booth. So here he is. Hello, Nick Newcomb. Welcome. I haven't spoken to you for about a year. How's it going, man? Oh, I think he's there. Hello, Nick.
Good evening.
There he is.
I just want to say you're doing a great job, guys. I'll make some coffee at 4 o'clock in the morning for you and Blenny.
That's very kind of you. I'm gonna need it. I can tell you that. I've got my apple here. Apple's apparently good to keeping people awake. I'm not sure if it's going to work.
You need some honey for the voice.
Yeah, I do. It's starting to go already, so I'm going to sound like a Roz out of Monsters Inc. by the end of this, so that's going to be interesting. But we'll see how that goes.
Rosenly did manage to get out just in front of Rodelli.
So we've got a fight on now. Fantastic. Nick, I'm disappointed not to see you racing in this.
I've just been too busy to do any racing at all. I've only recently just reset everything back up to the U, and I've got the URD mod, so I'm really impressed with that. I'm just getting back into driving and just trying to get back into the seat, more hours on the and doing some good times, and it's all coming back together. Not as quick as Mr. Alien there in the corner, daily.
Fantastic, yeah. Alien, we're keeping in occasion night. Anyway, back to the actual the race at hand. And it looks like the Rodelli is really taking the place back from Per Rosenly, but that's just a kind of temporary thing though. 'Cause that was down the straight in the slipstream. We're going to see him now go through the Michelin chicane. Now, will Per Rosenly be able to come back on the straight? If as we believe he is running maybe a lower engine, maybe this is where he's going to suffer a little bit on the straights, but we've seen him kind of last that little bit longer on the pit stops, but maybe that's just a kind of preference thing. He's in the slipstream now. Looks like he might have the pace to get past.
I was going to say, last stint though, they would have done the same stint because he only stayed at that 1 lap longer again, so he didn't actually extend it.
There you go, back through again, coming down to the Mulsanne corner, just really asserting the dominance there. They're wanting that P2 in the GTs. And they've got a bit of traffic ahead of them. I think that's the rare car. I think that's our camera car, Mr. Innes. And see if we can get him on screen, shall we? No, we can't because I've forgotten where I put him. Oops.
He's behind you.
Down the back of the sofa?
I fit him somewhere.
Pretty sure Shakula's just lost a lot of time in the pits. He managed to miss his pit stall and he spent 10-15 seconds trying to find his box.
Here he is. We've got him on board. I heard someone go off then. I don't know if you heard that. I think that was the Corvette. Yeah, it was the Corvette.
On, yeah.
So you can just about see the onboard of Runis now, just to the right hand side of your picture. Pulling to the right hand side of the course, you're going to see 2 cars go flying past now on the left. There they go, that's one of them. I know that the picture isn't too clear. I think we're a little bit behind on the webcam. But actually, wait a minute, look at that gap. That's suddenly emerged between the two. There's a car in between them, and the Ferrari must have a mistake out of our notch or something, because it's really just dropped back a little bit. And Rena's cam goes back into hibernation until we call upon it next.
I just think Rodelli's is quick. He didn't seem to make any mistake through Indianapolis or on.
Traffic may have just kind of unsettled him a little bit. That can happen sometimes, especially if you're running like a very solid line and someone just sits on it. You have to go around them, but...
Well, that and they also had Del Castillo going off in front of them, so he may just have backed off because of that.
What's the track temperature right now?
Track temperature is at 67 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's dropped off a couple degrees here. Man, you can really see that sun starting to set. You get that burnt orange color out there. Man, it looks beautiful.
No, I'm very sorry, guys. This is my incompetence. I just realised that my weather widget was not on. Basically means that I haven't had the weather on the screen, which I could have done for the entire screen. So now you can see that the track in there is 20 degrees. Well done, Jimmy.
20 degrees Celsius, 67 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, we got the conversion going.
Sorry, Farron, what? Get out of here, you crazy American.
20 degrees sounds pretty cold.
It's not as bad as 0 degrees Fahrenheit. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Did. But now, yeah, Per Rushley really getting into the thick of it now. The next question is, I guess, can he start reeling in Perotti in front of him? I think that's the thing we have to focus on next. Lap time wise, I think we're going to need a couple of laps.
I think
we can see.
I think we're going to expect to see some tire changes soon because of the lowering of the track temperature.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I was going to ask you that as Jimmy Allison gets back in the Corvette. The lowered temperatures, what does that do for these guys' decisions on tires?
Well, we saw that already with Perotti, our leader in the GT class. He was running mediums on his front tyres to try and conserve them a little bit. But now that the track's cooled down a little bit, he's gone back to the tyres he's on previously, which was the soft tyres on the front, so a little bit more speed. So now the wear is going to kind of slow down. So now that the track is a little bit cooler, and it means that they can kind of run longer on stints.
Yeah, actually, what I experienced last time when we drove 24 hours is that we actually run soft tires on the front, about 19-18 degrees Celsius. I think that's about the same, about 67 or 68 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
And what we actually expected from that is that we would actually have a good, can you say, fit on the track. But it actually was that we actually had to lower the tire to very soft to actually get the right grip during the night time.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's how it's going to be, getting that that combination correct at night, because you're driving this car through several different conditions, especially at the LeMans. There's rain forecast, we're going through the night, the temperature's changing on the track and in the air as well. So it's vital to have a car that is changeable in that aspect. So obviously getting your tyre choices right, having that testing done before the race begins is pretty much crucial to having a successful and long race, as Per Rosnelli increases the gap over Luca Ridelli, obviously getting the tyre choices right this time around.
I know, speaking from experience with juices, when we used to run through the night at Le Mans, we would change to softs, and would also, if needed, through testing, would adjust tyre temperatures, and when we switched back to mediums, we didn't always switch back to the standard tyre pressures either.
Indeed, that's how it needs to be. You have to make sure you're going to get that balance right, and sometimes it's difficult. Let's say, for example, you're coming into the track starts warming up again, and you think, oh, you know what, I think I'll be alright keeping on these soft tyres, and then if you could end up ruining a stint because the track heats up quicker than you expect it to, and you end up wearing your tyres. We're going to have a quick look at our leader again. We kind of forgot about him, but it's now Leonardo Mesquita in the car from Rodrigo Borba in that Target Racing, pretty much just running away with it.
I would hope so too, as the only P1 in the race. If he was doing anything but running away with the race, I'd be worried.
Still shows, though, the concentration level and the dedication here of being out there alone. I was saying earlier on is this guy's got to keep up his concentration a little bit more. I mean, he's just flying around, then he comes up to these GT cars incredibly fast, especially through like some of the S's and some of the really fast corners as we see him go off just a little bit there. He gets 2 tires off. That was close, but
clearly trying still, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, putting up some pretty good lap times. So, yeah, pretty cool to see him out there.
It's actually very amazing to sit in a GT car in the middle of the night and see an LMP1 car coming from the back, and you suddenly just get too shocked about it because you doesn't even notice there's a car behind you.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a little bit different if there was, maybe 10 P1 cars out there. Then it's always top of mind. But this guy, he only comes around so often, so those GT cars, I'm sure, get surprised every once in a while when he gets right up on you,
Well, in the little bit of driving I did on the server, I barely even heard the cars coming, the P1s coming either. It was whoa, hang on, suddenly it was there. It was real shock.
Sometimes when you sit on the live stream, you don't really experience how fast it's actually going when you're driving around, and then it's actually quite frightening when you see an LP1 coming in the middle of the night.
Massive shock.
Yeah, yeah, he's on the straightaway right now, and he's up to 210 miles an hour before he's hard on the brakes. That's amazing.
Would have been interesting as well. Looks like they've got a pretty sweet setup there, so it's unfortunate that they're having to drive around by themselves, but it's a good test session for them. A 24-hour one, it could come in quite handy as the season goes on.
24 hours of track time.
Oh yes, it's a lot more than Red Bull get. I know.
Yeah, I'd imagine for a lot of these guys, is looks like Kevin Woods coming on into the pits for Red Weasel Racing. Is these guys, they're running the 24-hour at Le Mans. It's really something you can put in your resume. You did it. It's an accomplishment. It's not only an experience, but a learning an experience. And it's just that goes high on the bragging rights to be able to be involved in one of these things and be able to finish it out.
That's something that I haven't got on my own personal sim racing CV. It's something that I wanted to add for so long. It almost happened this year, but it didn't. And maybe next year, it's
Let's just find a race, Jimmy. 24-hour Le Mans, and you and me will do it.
Let's just make a race. Blackjack and hookers. Brilliant. But I've always wanted to race a 24-hour race, and the biggest one I took part in was actually last year here in the 12-hour race, where my car retired due to my computer being a piece of, well, whatever. And that was disappointing for me, because it's not even just driving at Le Mans, it's experience. Like, there is genuine immersion in driving at Le Mans when the sun goes down, the night starts setting in, the lights are on, and it's just all brilliant. As Jerry McComas gets in the car for Kevin Wood, finally getting out of the car.
Yeah, finally. Jeez.
Kevin were going to go and probably now get his back straightened out by his car rFactor.
Kevin had driven nearly 5 hours of the race up to that point.
That's nothing compared to the 8-hour Bailey session.
Oh, God damn it! How is it I keep coming?
Famous Bailey.
Oh, it was a good season, that one, especially at Le Mans when a certain car,
Yeah, I'm from singing.
with only 2 minutes to go, decided to fall off the track and give Bailey's team the championship. But that was by the by.